All right, so located in your electrical distribution box is your master disconnect switch. Here's located your engine hood switch, so this will raise and lower your engine hood. This switch here will turn the ladder lights on, both left and right side. If the machine is equipped with emulsion spray system, there'll be an emulsion switch cleanout function here. So again, this will be raise it to set the timer, and then if you lower the switch, that'll turn the timer off. Also in here is your wait to disconnect lamp, your remote start post, 24-volt system. Also in here is where your fuse panels are located. So you have a various row of fuses and relays to go along with those. And then on both doors are located a description of what the relays are and what the fuses are. Okay, so also located in this area is one of 3 e-stop switches. There's one located on the right side of the machine and an additional one up on the operator console. Normally these are pulled out for normal operation. In the event of an emergency, we'll push the switch in, that'll stop the engine immediately, and it'll throw a level 3 fault. So located below the electrical distribution box is the battery compartment. So to access the batteries, we're going to remove the hardware, these 4 bolts here, remove the cover, and then you'll have your 2 12-volt batteries in series for 24 volts. So inspect your handrails, your step, make sure the hardware is secure, it's not missing or damaged. Handrails are not bent, and it's also a good idea to make sure that they're clean from any dirt, oil, or any other debris. So inspecting your tires, ensure the tires are in good condition, no rips, no tears, no missing lugs, proper inflation per the operation maintenance manual. Inspect the wheel, make sure that it's not bent or dented. Also inspect the wheel nuts and make sure that they're properly torqued and in place as well. All right, to check your engine oil, open up the access cover, pull out the dipstick. And again, you want the oil between the add and the full mark, and you can see the hatch marks. All right, so behind this access door, you can inspect your cooling package. Now what you're looking for is any dirt or damage to the cooling fins, any sticks or leaves that might be stuck to the cooling package. Also behind this door gives you good access to your SOS tap for your engine coolant, your primary fuel filter with water separator at the bottom, and then you also have your fuel shutoff from your tank. So through this grill, you can see your shunt tank for your engine coolant. There's a mark for full and add, and again, we want engine coolant between those 2 marks. All right, to raise the engine hood, just simply hold the switch up. So with our engine hood fully open, gives you a lot better access to your cooling package, fuel filter, fuel pump, shunt tank up there for your engine coolant. You can see the add and full mark indicators a lot better from this viewpoint. And if you do need to add engine oil, this cover will be removed. So now you can see your air conditioning compressor, your alternator, serpentine belt, and again, if you need to add engine oil right there, that would be. Also in this area is your air compressor if equipped. So one of the cool features of the new RM400 is that it can be equipped with both emulsion and water spray systems. So here's the water spray system. So inlet from the truck. Now this is controlled by a butterfly valve, which is controlled by this hydraulic cylinder. We retract the cylinder, the valve opens, water goes through the inlet strainer. Of course, right here is the pump. Now the pump is controlled by a hydraulic motor. So when we turn the system on, the hydraulic motor rotates the pump. Of course, outlet from the water pump goes through the black hose and out to the water spray bar. If the machine is equipped with cameras, again, inspect the bracket, the hardware, the harness, make sure everything is good to go, nothing's bent or damaged. And then using a soft cloth, just make sure that the lens is nice and clean. Now this is the normal working position, but if you're going to transport the machine, make sure it's folded fully in. So the T-bar here is used for transportation mode, but it's also used for locking the rotor in the raised position. So whenever you're doing any kind of rotor maintenance underneath the machine, you always want to make sure that the T-bar is up in place and secured by the pin. So this would be transportation mode or service mode. In normal operation mode, we're going to fold it down, put the pin back in place. But again, make sure that this is all functional. It's also important to inspect all the safety placards on the machine. Make sure that they're on the machine in the proper location per the operation maintenance manual, and they are legible. Now, if they're not, contact your local Caterpillar dealer to get these replaced. The rotor hood is equipped with a door on each side of the machine, which allows you to inspect and replace the end cutting bits if necessary. Now that you got the rotor at service tilt position and the rear door open, gives you access to your rotor cutter bits, the bits themselves, the holder, and the base block. You're also going to inspect the kicker paddles. So with the onboard air compressor and air tools, you can knock these tools out. And with the cup, you can simply install the tool. Now to put your machine back in service, remove the rear door lock pin. Also now lower your T-bar. Put the secure pin lock back in place. So inspect your headlights, make sure that the lens is clear, no missing hardware, the wiring harness has no frays. Also check the four-way flashers, as well as the working lights, and as well as the beacon. Also ensure that the lens of your front-facing camera is clear. So again, this machine is equipped with the emulsion spray system. So again, emulsion comes in through this inlet from the truck, through the strainer, through the pump, through the flow tube, and then out to the spray bar. When the spray bar system is closed, then the recirculation valve is closed, which means then oil comes back in through here. And depending on where the recirculation valve setting is, it can recirculate back to the pump through the system, or it can be recirculated back to the truck. So again, when inspecting this area, just make sure that there's no leaks, all the hoses are good to go and secure, all the harnesses are fine, and no physical damage. So inspect your hydraulic filter package area and make sure that the hoses are not leaking, the electrical connectors and the harnesses are secure. And then also make sure that the e-stop is functional, so it's on the right side. So again, press it into emergency stop, pull it out would be the normal operation. So again, inspect your right side camera, clean the lens with a soft cloth. Now because this machine has two spray systems on it, this is the additive spray bar, and this is getting its additive from the emulsion spray pump through this line here, and then this is the water spray bar here getting its water from the water spray pump. So in this area, we're just going to make sure we have oil in our saddle tank here for our rotor bearings, oil in the hydraulic tank per the sight line or sight gauge here on the hydraulic tank. The return filter is in the green zone, which means it's filtering fine. And also I'm just going to look around the entire area for any leaks or any damage that might have occurred to these hydraulic hoses or electrical connectors. So inspecting the rear of the machine, inspect our fuel lines, our fittings, make sure that they're tight, not leaking, and no damage is present. The air drop itself for our air tools, we'll make sure that the gauge roughly about 120 psi. This is where we'll hook up our air tools so we can change our cutting bits. Grease zerks on the machine, so anytime we see a grease zerk, be sure to follow the outline in the operation maintenance manual for the type of grease set used and the greasing interval. So when you're inspecting the rear of the machine, again, look at the hydraulic hoses, make sure that they're not leaking or in no physical damage. Your lights are in working order. Also the rear facing camera, again, clean the lens with a soft cloth, as well as the camera that faces the rotor door. And also back here is where that e-stop is located. So once again, out for normal operation, in to stop the machine.